20 years had passed since Maria last saw her son, Daniel. Their separation had been sudden and cruel, the result of a war that tore their country apart. Maria had been a schoolteacher in their small village, and Daniel, a bright and curious boy, was her pride and joy. The war came like a storm, destroying homes and scattering families. In the chaos, Maria and Daniel were forced to flee, each in different directions. Maria had been taken to a refugee camp in a neighboring country, while Daniel was lost in the crowd, carried away by strangers. In the camp, Maria's days were filled with hard work and endless waiting. She taught the children of the camp, her heart aching for her own son. Every night, she would sit by the fire and whisper Daniel's name, praying he was safe. She clung to the memories of their life before the war, the way Daniel's eyes sparkled with curiosity, their walks through the village, and the bedtime stories she would read to him. These memories were her anchor, keeping her grounded through the years of uncertainty. Daniel, on the other hand, found himself in an orphanage, far from his home. He grew up amidst strangers, the faces of his parents fading with each passing year. But he never forgot his mother's love. Her gentle voice and warm embrace haunted his dreams. As he grew older, Daniel vowed to find her. He studied hard, determined to become someone who could make a difference. He became a doctor, dedicating his life to helping others, always with the hope that one day, his skills would lead him back to his mother. The years were not kind to either of them. Maria, now in her 50s, had scars that told stories of both physical and emotional battles. She never gave up hope, though, always believing that she would see her son again. She continued to teach, finding solace in the smiles of the children, imagining that somewhere, Daniel was smiling too. Her resilience was a testament to her strength and the unbreakable bond she shared with her son. Daniel's journey was equally arduous. He traveled from village to village, offering his medical expertise to those in need. With every patient he healed, he asked about his mother. He showed pictures and described her, hoping someone, somewhere, had seen her. His persistence paid off when he met an elderly woman who remembered a teacher named Maria from a refugee camp. She gave him the name of a village, and Daniel felt hope for the first time in years. The village was far, but Daniel's determination fueled him. He arrived in the evening, the setting sun casting a golden hue over the landscape. He asked around, and finally, an old man pointed him to a small schoolhouse. Daniel's heart raced as he approached the building. Inside, Maria was teaching a group of children. The moment she saw him, her breath caught in her throat. She knew, even after all these years, that the man standing before her was her son. "Daniel?" she whispered, tears filling her eyes. "Yes, Mother, it's me," Daniel replied, his voice choked with emotion. They embraced, the world around them fading into insignificance. The children watched, sensing the significance of the moment. Maria and Daniel held each other tightly, the years of separation melting away in that one embrace. They cried for the lost years, for the pain and suffering, but also for the joy of being together again. Their reunion was a mix of tears and laughter. They spent hours talking, sharing their stories. Maria learned about Daniel's life, his struggles, and his achievements. She was proud of the man he had become. Daniel, in turn, listened to his mother's tales of resilience and hope. They discovered that, despite the distance, their bond had never weakened. It had grown stronger, fueled by their love and memories. Together, they walked through the village, Maria showing Daniel the places that had become part of her new life. They visited the homes of her friends, who welcomed Daniel with open arms. The village, small and humble, became a symbol of their reunion, a place where their past and future intertwined. At night, they sat by the fire, just as Maria had done all those years ago. But this time, Daniel was by her side. They talked about their dreams and hopes, planning a future where they would never be separated again. They shared their memories, laughing and crying, healing the wounds of the past with each word and gesture. Their love and bond were evident to everyone around them. Maria and Daniel were a testament to the power of hope and perseverance. They had faced unimaginable hardships, but their love for each other had never wavered. In the quiet moments, they would sit together, holding hands, grateful for the miracle of their reunion. And so, in a small village, amidst the ruins of a war-torn past, a mother and son found their way back to each other. Their story was one of love, resilience, and the unbreakable bond that can withstand even the greatest of life's challenges. They were together, and that was all that mattered. Javier had always been a man of the sea. As a fisherman in a small coastal village, he spent most of his days on the water, casting nets and bringing home the catch that fed his family and supported his community. His daughter, Isabella, was the light of his life. From a young age, she showed a fascination with the ocean, and he would often take her on his boat, teaching her the ways of the sea. Their bond was as deep and vast as the waters they navigated together. One stormy night, when Isabella was just 10 years old, the village one sunny afternoon, his heart pounding with anticipation. The place had changed, yet it felt the same. He made his way to the market, hoping someone would recognize him. Isabella was at the market that day, as she often was when she returned home. She was talking to a fisherman about the day's catch when she noticed an old man standing nearby, looking lost. There was something familiar about him, something that tugged at her heart. She approached him, and when he turned to face her, time seemed to stand still. "Father," she whispered, her voice trembling. "Isabella?" Javier replied, his eyes filling with tears. They embraced, holding each other tightly, afraid to let go. The villagers gathered around, murmuring in amazement. They had thought Javier lost forever, yet here he was, reunited with his daughter. The years of pain and longing melted away in that moment, replaced by overwhelming joy. They spent the next few days catching up, sharing stories of their lives. Javier listened with pride as Isabella spoke of her achievements, her adventures, and her dedication to marine conservation. Isabella, in turn, was amazed by her father's resilience and the lengths he had gone to return to her. They walked along the shore, Javier pointing out the spots where they used to fish together, and Isabella sharing her knowledge of the sea. Their reunion was celebrated by the entire village. There was a feast, with music and dancing, and everyone came to pay their respects to the man who had defied the odds to return home. Isabella and Javier sat at the center, surrounded by friends and family, their bond stronger than ever. In the quiet moments, they would sit by the shore, just as they had done years ago. Javier would tell stories of his adventures, and Isabella would listen, her heart full. They knew that the future held many uncertainties, but they also knew that they would face them together, just as they always had. Their story became a legend in the village, a tale of love, perseverance, and the unbreakable bond between a father and daughter. The sea that had once separated them now brought them back together, and they embraced each day with gratitude and joy, cherishing the miracle of their reunion. Lily and Max had been inseparable as children, growing up in a small, picturesque town nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river. Their bond was forged through shared adventures, secret hideaways, and whispered dreams under the stars. Lily, the older of the two by 3 years, was fiercely protective of her younger brother. Max idolized Lily, following her everywhere, his laughter echoing hers. They were each other's confidants, best friends, and partners in mischief. Their idyllic childhood was abruptly shattered when their parents died in a car accident. At 12 and 9, Lily and Max were placed in the foster care system, separated by circumstance and distance. Lily was sent to live with a family in a bustling city, while Max was placed with a family in a rural area far away. The separation was heart-wrenching for both of them, and they clung to the hope that they would be reunited one day. Lily's foster family was kind but overwhelmed with their own struggles. She felt out of place in the noisy city, her heart aching for the quiet countryside and her brother's laughter. Despite her circumstances, she excelled in school, driven by the promise she had made to Max that she would find him. She sent letters to every foster agency she could find, trying to locate her brother, but years passed with no success. Max, meanwhile, found solace in nature. His foster family lived on a farm, and he spent his days tending to animals and exploring the woods. He grew up strong and resilient, but the absence of his sister left a void in his heart. He often climbed to the top of a hill near the farm, where he could see the horizon stretch endlessly, and he imagined Lily standing somewhere under the same sky, thinking of him. As the years went by, both Lily and Max carved out lives for themselves. Lily became a journalist, using her skills to uncover stories of lost and forgotten people, always hoping to stumble upon a clue about Max. Max, on the other hand, became a conservationist, dedicating his life to protecting the natural world he had come to love. He traveled to remote places, working on projects that brought him a sense of peace, but he never stopped yearning for his sister. One day, while working on an article about the foster care system, Lily received a lead about a boy named Max who had lived on a farm. Her heart raced as she followed the thread, contacting people who might have known her brother. After weeks of searching, she found an old friend of Max's foster family who confirmed that Max had indeed lived with them. The friend gave Lily a phone number, and with trembling hands, she dialed it. Max answered the phone, his voice deep and unfamiliar. "Hello? Max?" "It's Lily," she said, her voice breaking. There was a moment of stunned silence before Max responded, "Lily? Is it really you?" Tears streamed down Lily's face as she nodded, even though Max couldn't see her. "Yes, it's really me. I've been looking for you for so long." Max's voice was thick with emotion. "I never stopped thinking about you. Where are you?" They talked for hours, filling each other in on the years they had missed. Lily learned that Max was currently working on a conservation project in a remote mountain village. She immediately made plans to visit him, unable to wait another moment to see her brother. The journey to the village was long and arduous. Lily traveled by plane, bus, and finally, by foot, hiking up the rugged mountain trails that led to Max's current home. As she approached the village, her heart pounded with anticipation. She spotted Max from a distance, standing tall and strong among the villagers. The moment he saw her, he broke into a run, closing the distance between them. "Lily," he shouted, his voice carrying over the mountain air. "Max!" Lily cried, tears of joy streaming down her face. They embraced tightly, the years of separation melting away. Lily felt the familiar warmth of her brother's embrace, and Max breathed in the comforting scent of his sister. They held each other for a long time, neither wanting to let go. The village welcomed Lily with open arms. She stayed in Max's small cottage, and they spent their days exploring the mountains, talking about their childhood, and planning for the future. Max showed Lily the beauty of the natural world he had come to love, while Lily shared stories of her adventures as a journalist. They laughed and cried, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. One evening, they climbed to the top of a hill, much like the one Max used to visit as a child. They sat together, watching the sun set over the mountains, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. "I used to come to a place like this and think of you," Max said softly. "I always believed we would find each other again." Lily smiled, her eyes reflecting the fading light. "I never gave up hope. I knew we would be together again." As the stars began to twinkle above them, Lily and Max made a pact to never be separated again. They decided to combine their passions and work together on projects that would make a difference in the world. Lily would use her journalistic skills to raise awareness about environmental issues, while Max would continue his conservation work. Their first project was to document the village's unique ecosystem and the conservation efforts that Max had been a part of. They worked tirelessly, interviewing villagers, taking photographs, and writing articles. Their collaboration was seamless, a testament to their deep connection and shared purpose. The story they created was published in a renowned magazine, bringing attention to the village and its conservation efforts. The response was overwhelming, and donations poured in to support the cause. Lily and Max felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing they were making a difference together. Years passed, and their work took them to different parts of the world. They traveled to rainforests, deserts, and remote islands, always together, always making a difference. Their bond grew even stronger as they faced challenges and celebrated successes side by side. Lily and Max never forgot their parents or the pain of their separation, but they turned their past into a source of strength. They honored their parents' memory by living fully and loving deeply, cherishing every moment they had together. Their journey was not always easy, but they faced it with courage and resilience, knowing that as long as they were together, they could overcome anything. In a small village, amidst the rolling hills and sparkling river of their childhood, Lily and Max found their way back to each other. Their story was one of love, perseverance, and the unbreakable bond that can withstand even the greatest of life's challenges. They were together, and that was all that mattered.